So Dave, as we kind of come towards the end of this and making sure we have time for any additional Q&A, this next one always generates some debate, right? So capturing the metrics so that you can show the ROI or show the results. So what are some of the best practices that you found to sort of simplify or at least make it manageable so that you can report on this? What are the metrics that you're trying to capture, and what recommendations do you have for those that are thinking, how the heck do I do this?
Absolutely. Well, as they say, you can only manage what you can measure. I would start, I'm going to tell you, this is a lesson I learned a while back where at another company, we had an MDF program where the kind of performance or the proof of success and everything was much more textual based. Like they would, oh, we had a great meeting with blah, 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 or we had this event and this many people. It was just like, it was good information and detailed information frequently, but it was not something that you could like look at across all the people, across your partner base. So the number one lesson I learned is everything has to be numbers. It has to be a number, and you have to build it into your system. It has to be a number of leads, number of attendees, number of email opens, number of social media interactions, whatever it is. It needs to be just like a whole number so that you can actually consolidate that and look at what the performance is. So number one, get anything that's text-based out and require anything that's number-based in. And this gives you, and just don't let them get an approval without an estimate of that number of the, number of attendees for an event or the number of leads that you're going to get for a lead gen campaign in advance, and then make them put those numbers in when they're done. And one thing I also think is don't punish people for maybe some things aren't successful. I still want to, that's important information. If it wasn't successful, then it helps us guide the overall partner base away from those things that weren't as successful and towards things that were successful. The other thing is, like when it comes to metrics, I think a lot of people don't know where exactly to start, especially if it's a new MDF program. So one thing that I've kind of leveraged and learned along the way to tell the execs internally is, look, I got to baseline the metrics for the first year so that I can start building on growth going forward. So baselining metrics is also a kind of a technique that I use to like, if somebody's asking me, some exec saying, well, how much is it going to drive, and what's the pipeline going to be, and it's a new program, I'm like, look, we don't know right now. We could come up with an estimate based on what's going on in the market, but let's baseline it the first year, and then we'll be able to increase it from there. And you want the results to be easy to read and interpret, both for the partners and for the internal stakeholders. So if there's success and it's easy to understand, more partners will participate. But just like JD said earlier, if it's easy to do it, then more partners are going to join in. And if they can see where they are, then they'll take action. I mean, like literally one of the things we launched this year was a dashboard, so that our partners could, almost like the airline dashboard, so I could see where my revenue, where my certifications, where everything was. It helps the partners, it motivates them to get to that next level. So having anything visual for those partners in a dashboard with those performance numbers will motivate them and help them continue to move on to the next level. And then, work with the partners on what's successful and what's not. But again, you can only get that when you're looking at those numbers. And one thing that somebody mentioned earlier was just the whole payout quickly. Again, if you want partners to participate and you want to get good numbers and results, you want them to share that information, you need to get them to participate. And participation frequently is how hard is it, and getting payment quickly is something that's important. So I think I drifted a little bit, but I think that overall, I think the focus is on numbers. The focus is on presenting those numbers in a way that can be interpreted both internally and externally. And call Kenneth and have him build you a dashboard, and that'll make it easy for you internally and externally to present that information.
So this time around, we're asking, what's the most challenging aspect of managing an MDF program? And this one is multiple choice, so please select all that apply. So if you find it time consuming and resource intensive, if getting the list of supported activities is difficult, visibility of program performance, inability to measure the ROI of the program to prove to finance that it's worthwhile, or just to get internal stakeholder buy-in for the program.